Welcome back to Tipsy Whiskey Shenanigans. I'm Steven, and tonight, whenever the heck you're watching this, we are getting into the top 5 allocated bottles that you should be hunting. But before we do that, please do us that favor, like, comment, subscribe, as well as a word from today's sponsor. This video is brought to you by ZBiotics. If you have ever skipped the gym after a night of drinking, just like I do about every single week right after my live streams, well then you need ZBiotics. ZBiotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. ZBiotics produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. It's designed to work like your liver, but in your gut, where you need it the most. Just remember to drink ZBiotics before you drink alcohol, drink responsibly, and get a good night's sleep to feel your best tomorrow. Try ZBiotics for yourself today. Go to zbiotics.com/tipsy, use a QR code down there, and use the code TIPSY at checkout to get 15% off on your first order. Also, ZBiotics is 100% money back guaranteed. So for whatever reason you are unsatisfied, they will refund you, no questions asked. We're gonna head to zbiotics.com/tipsy and use the code TIPSY at checkout to get 15% off your first order. Thank you again, ZBiotics, for sponsoring this video, but let's get back to it. Alrighty, we are talking about allocated bottles today. That good old, beautiful allocation. This is going to be a different conversation, person to person, as well as location to location. Some things are harder to find in other places than others. So these are my top 5 allocated bourbons that I can find in my area, roughly. Some years are obviously better than others, but these are going to be my top 5 allocated bourbons that I will go out of my way to hunt every single year, no matter what the heck is out there. Obviously, there's going to be a lot more allocated bottles that I would love to get, but these are the top 5 I actively hunt for and look for because I really like all of these, and sometimes these are attainable. You know, allocation, sometimes it's the luck of the draw, but these are the ones I typically gravitate toward. And to kick this off, we're gonna go with an allocation that's a little new as of last year to me, but it's still well worth it, absolutely phenomenal. And from what I've heard, they obviously have improved these a lot if you think they're not good. And that is Old Forester Single Barrel Proofs. So originally, when these things first came out, a lot of people were saying that these were kind of, you know, overly hot, a little bit too explosive. It is everything you love in an Old Forester product, cranked up to 11. It has that nice, like, banana split sundae flavor profile. That banana, that, like, vanilla ice cream, a little bit of a nuttiness sprinkled on top, a little bit of cherry syrup, a little bit of a chocolate syrup, with that, like, intensity that you're gonna get off of 130 proof. These are some of my favorite bottles. I've tried a few of these, and this is the first one I've been able to purchase that are like $80 in my area. They are absolutely amazing for that $80 in my area because you don't get a lot of really good quality for $80 anymore, but that bottle is absolutely phenomenal for that $80-ish you can get it for. And after that, a bottle that I've been crushing on since the first one I got in 2020. I think it was 2020 or maybe 2021. Woodford Reserve Batch Proof. These are phenomenal. These good old turkey leg bottles, the little turkey leg, you know, the little turkey leg bottles. Branding, not really too phenomenal, but in case you haven't noticed, I like that Brown-Forman flavor profile. I'm a sucker for that Brown-Forman flavor profile, so I like that Woodford Reserve flavor profile. My main complaints with Woodford Reserve is that it's all low proof. Oh, double oak's a little bit on the sweeter side for me, a little bit too sweet, a little bit too like desserty for an everyday kind of drinker. And the normal Woodford, it's a little low proof, you know, not overly complex. It's also significantly cheaper, so it's still a solid bottle, but it doesn't blow away my mind. But this stuff, this is phenomenal. Amazing stuff. This is Woodford Reserve at barrel proof, and these seemingly have a lot more age in them. This one's really, really dark, super banana-y, not super nutty compared to like an Old Forester product. There's not as much nuts in the Woodford Reserve. It's just very, very banana-y and sweet with a boatload of oak, chocolate, and like brown sugar on this one. This one is super duper dark and phenomenal. Absolutely amazing. I love those darker, more aggressive, kind of like ultra aged type flavor profiles. And this one's kind of winging on the side of like tasting like it's like 12, 13, 14 years old, because there is some solid depth to that flavor profile that you don't see in their original product. And that's why I absolutely love them. They are a little bit on the pricier side now, so that is an unfortunate thing. They're like around like the 120s, 130s, but I still think they're worth it. You know, I don't love spending $130 on a bourbon, but out of all the bourbons I have that are over $100, I say 110% those are well worth the money I spent on them. And after that, the one Buffalo Trace bottle on this list, because you knew I had to add a Buffalo Trace bottle, if we're being honest. We can't do an allocated bottle and not bring up Buffalo Trace. The one Buffalo Trace bottle I will constantly hunt, even though I have horrible luck trying to find it, because I always find the ones I don't really want. You know, I find an Eagle Rare, I occasionally find an E.H. Taylor. If I find it for like 50 bucks, I buy it. I can find Buffalo Trace any day. I can find some Wellers occasionally, not a Weller foolproof. Again, things you never want. But the one I have a really hard time finding, but I would love to find another one because this is one of my better barrel proof bourbons, is good old Stag. These are ridiculously good. I understand why people hunt them and all that jazz, because these are really, really freaking solid. I get this nice cherry as well as a very like grapey, like that purple drink flavor profile. And this is like a dark barrel proof oaky purple drink. Not quite like super duper grapey like that, but there is some really solid grapiness to this Stag that I absolutely love. And I'm nursing this bottle a little bit because I don't know when the next time I'm ever going to be able to purchase another Stag, because that was the first Stag I saw, first Stag I was able to buy. And since then, I have not seen a Stag sit anywhere on the shelves. I haven't had the ability to buy one in a lottery, anything of that nature. I haven't had dumb luck where I just casually walk in the store. I'm like, oh, there's Buffalo Trace bottles here. Stag Jr., in my opinion, is the one Buffalo Trace product, if it was at that like $100 range, that deserves the hype of Buffalo Trace. In my opinion, I absolutely think Stag is worth the hunt because, you know, Stag's pretty freaking good. And after that one, a bottle that you probably wouldn't have expected just because not a lot of people know about this, but it is technically an allocated lottery, and that is Iron Root Republic's Tri-Barrel Solstice Edition bottles. So Iron Root Republic, they do a boatload of limited edition stuff. Usually you have to be local to get them. I have my ways of acquiring these bottles. These are absolutely phenomenal. They do a bunch of different kinds of bourbons. I've had a Finnish bourbon that I've gotten on a lottery, and I have quite a few of these Harbinger, Tri-Barrel, whatever ones, where they basically blend 3 different versions of barrels together, creating a limited edition product every single year, so on and so forth. I love these. These are everything I would love to see in a Texas bourbon, cranked up to 125 proof. Yep, it's 10 proof points higher than your average Harbinger as well. It really matches that whole like dark, wintry, fall type flavor profile. So with it being in spring, it's not really quite the go-to bottle as of right now, but that is a phenomenal dark Texas-y bourbon. I absolutely love their stuff. I love everything about them, and I add myself to every single allocation drawing that they do. And then last but not least, a bottle I haven't brought up because you're gonna be like, oh wow, he put it on another list, but it's true. This is an allocated bottle. Elijah Craig's. Elijah Craig barrel proofs, loosely allocated because they are probably the easiest to find allocation. But I will be honest, out of all of these, since these are a little bit loosely allocated, these are the ones I probably find the most of, and I absolutely love that. That is the one thing I love about these products. They could jack up the price crazy. They could make them harder to find, limit all the batches like they do with every other product in theory with these, but they don't. They really do release quite a bit of them at this high proof 12-year-old age statement. So I love that they really make these kind of an attainable allocated product, because not a lot of allocated products out there are super attainable. Like the Old Forester Woodford Reserve, those are dumb luck situations. I randomly walked in, had them happen. The Iron Root stuff, that's a special relationship as well as a drawing that I enter myself into. The Stag, that was a miracle, baby. But these are very, very realistic allocations and really realistic, findable, barrel-proof, limited edition bottles every single year. So I absolutely love these bottles. 12-year-old Elijah Craig, like a really nice, I call it this bougie peanut butter cup, like Reese's peanut butter cup, like a dark chocolate Trader Joe's organic type peanut butter cup, you know, because it has that like dark chocolatey aspect, but the peanut butter on it, it's not that fake mass produced peanut butter, it's that natural organic stuff. So absolutely love those bottles, and by far probably one of my favorite findable allocations out there. But again, there's so many great limited edition allocated bottles every single year, like the Maker's line that comes out, a lot of other really, really good ones. That's probably a solid honorable mention. So there's a lot of good allocated bottles out there. These are just my top 5 favorites that I go out of my way to try to find every single year in one way or another. Some years I'm lucky, some years I'm not. But that is a wrap for today's video. Please do me that favor, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know down below what you thought about today's list. Also check out the Facebook, Instagram, and the Patreon. Links for all that stuff are down there below. That's a wrap for today's video, folks. Cheers, y'all. We'll see you later.